Keep those quads to yourself, boy.
Don't eat it, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, mic check.
You are listening to a few bro dudes that will make you laugh, cry, or both. The Vanilla Gorilla and Dropkick Mike try to be funny, but let's be honest. They need to try harder.
We are back. Rampart Rams in the building for another Sunday podcast here. How are you guys doing?
Good.
I'm chilling good.
So we're missing a few people that couldn't make it because they're being responsible enough to do their homework. That's the way it should be. Where are you guys? You got to speak straight into the mic.
I already did my homework.
Okay.
My homework is done. I told my mom my homework was done. I'm chilling.
You told your mom your homework
I
was
still
done.
got homework. So.
My homework is actually done.
I got homework, and I'm still here.
Okay. The moment we are done here, what are you doing? The rest of your homework, right?
Sleeping.
I'm going to try to get Caleb to stay over, but I'm kind of grounded.
I'm going to go play some video games with Dalton.
Play some Fortnite.
Rampart High School.
Remember, student first, athlete second, everything else doesn't matter. That was quiet. That was way too quiet.
We all know we student athletes.
Yeah.
Wait, the crickets? See, I'm more of this guy. See, what else do I have on here? Oh, yeah. So everybody at the same time say Rampart Rams. There you go. No one heard you. No one heard you. Anyways, all right. How are you guys feeling, man? Because we had a grind of a game this last was it Friday, Saturday? Friday, that's right.
Friday night.
It goes by quick.
First Friday night game, it was kind of nice to actually play on Friday night lights instead of these Saturday night lights. It's awesome.
And Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Our first game was a Thursday.
So we got a bye week coming up. And then who do we have next?
Whitefield.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but let's talk about what happened Friday. There's a lot of stuff that happened Friday. It was a 4-point game, right? 2016?
Yep.
So, for me, that was a tough one. It was a tough one because we had that touchdown. And then we got a holding call, and if we didn't have that holding call, we would have won the game. It would have been over. So I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let you guys conversate, and you guys can say whatever you want. We're going to be respectful no matter what. But I want you to say it how it is, but make sure we're on the same level here, okay? So whoever wants to start, you can go for it.
I'll go ahead and start. Yeah, Friday was tough. It was a very hard-fought game. Two very good teams going at it. Were there a couple of calls that the refs made that I very much disagreed with? Yes. But at the same time, we did pretty good. So did Vista. But we just came out with the loss. Too bad.
It was a dogfight. Like, both teams played really well, but I think that we came out. I think coming out with an L helped us more because we learned more from the experience more than, like, if we won, we beat them on their homecoming. But coming out with an L, we learned more from the game. Now going into our bye week, prepping for Widefield's going to help us a lot.
Yeah, the energy never got low on the field and on the sideline, which I think really helped.
Especially going to Vista on the bus and everything, going to the locker room. Like, everyone was focused, and, we were all just ready for it, so.
Well, I said I wouldn't talk, but so you're right. Everybody on the sideline, everybody was amped up. There were some certain things that made you guys like get a little bit crazy and start going to work. Gabe's doing the Hulk Hogan. He's like, after he smashes this dude. Dalton's all over the place, and
with the club, with the club on his arm.
The only man in football with the sledgehammer.
Gotta love the sledgehammer.
We just gotta. You gotta win. If you pull out the sledgehammer, you gotta get a win.
I agree.
Because then it's just like, you got a sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. Then you gotta carry it back, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
dragging it very slowly behind you, and
that's the worst part is when if we don't win, having to take that back to the locker room because it's all awkward.
you're like, stupid sledgehammer.
But I mean, bringing it out to the games, it shows that we aren't expecting to lose, that we expect to win, that we expect to play our hearts out. And I mean, yeah, it is awkward when we lose and I got to take it off. But I mean, when you win, it looks even better because it actually means that we did bring the hammer and that we did put everything together for one.
I don't think that you guys played like crap. Like, not even at all. I think you guys, that was probably one of the better games in a while that you guys have had. And we went in there already knowing, again, like we talked last week, they were already going to be in the box. And you guys had a lot of success pulling off the tackles and going out for, the jets or whatever. And it's a little disappointing. We had one big throw. There was only one big throw from Kel to Luke. It works. We know it works. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether it's Michael or Kobe or whoever, we know it works. We need to implement that. And I'm not coaching the coaching staff. That's not what I'm saying. This is a dad and a spectator, position that I'm in. But it's just so hard to see if you're in the stands and you're looking down, you know what is there. I mean, if you know football, you know what is there. And I know they try their hardest. They are busting their ass as a coaching team. They're doing anything and everything they possibly can. And you got the guys in the booth and you got everybody on the ground. And the one thing that you lose while you're on the field coaching is the mentality and the factor of there's so much going on. You know what I mean? You can't blame a coach. If he gives you a certain run play, that run play needs to work every single time. It doesn't matter. And so that mentality needs to be in your guys' head. You can't blame it on coaches. You can't blame it on certain things. You guys can get mad at each other because this isn't an individual sport. If it was an individual sport, we would be fighting in MMA or something, right? So, but it's not. We have 11 men on the field at all times, and you have 11 men that have to work together at every single play and do what you got to do. I felt like you guys did a lot of that. You know what I mean? There were some simple mistakes. We had some penalties that were pretty crazy. I mean, but the one thing that I've taught all you guys as I was coaching you, you can't control three things. Can anybody tell me?
I forgot.
You forgot.
Go for it.
You can't control the ref.
Yeah, that was one.
Can't control the coaches, and you can't control the bounce of the ball. Okay? And if you want to add another one, you can't control the weather because it was cold as hell out there. Like, my knees were... It was bad. So, yeah, I mean, Caleb, you've been on the sideline with the injury. You're going to be to the point after the bye season, you're going to be able to be cleared. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So, who knows where you're going to land in the scheme of things. But as you're watching on the sideline, having to deal with this in your own perspective, give it to me. I want to hear it.
I mean, after that loss, I just felt like it sucked, I wish I was out there with you guys, working my butt off. But, I mean, I was keeping the sideline, motivated. Whenever they scored a touchdown, I said, hey, keep your heads up, the game's not over until the final whistle blows. And then, I just kept everyone's enthusiasm to keep going. Even whenever it was cold, I was still shouting and screaming.
Well, just from a player standpoint, I don't know where I'm going with this, but Coach Ward always said, growing up through spring, 8th grade, all the way up to now, he keeps saying 5 plays decides the game. You never know when those 5 plays are. So, bust your butt 100% of the time. Don't give up. So, I just think, a lot of the 5 plays that game, not specifically people messing up, but I would just say, our special teams, one little, missed tackle game, let them have 20 more yards or, something like that, which was very which didn't help our case. So
Right, and going off that, I would definitely say the next play mentality is definitely there on the team. There wasn't one time where I saw a guy drooping his head or like, dang, I should have got him. It's always next play. Forget about it.
Man, that loss really hurt. I'm not even going to lie. Vista, their fans, their players, they talked a lot before that game. There was a lot of posts on Snapchat, a lot of posts on Instagram, and it sure did hurt to lose that game. But after watching film yesterday, it was the little things that really divided us from winning that game. Like a head placement on an offensive lineman decided a 3-yard run to a 60-yard run. That's kind of what it came down to watching film. So we were there. It's just the little things we got to keep working on.
And I completely agree with the little things. I mean, like Jaden was saying, we were half a step, not even one step, half a step away from busting one big. I mean, you can watch it, the hole's there, and it's maybe a fullback messing up where his wrap is. But, I mean, we were playing our hearts out, and I can give you that one. I can say that for every player that was on that field, that for both teams even. They were playing our hearts out for more than just themselves. They were playing for, their team. And, it just came down to the luck of the draw of it. There's a couple, Kobe said there's 5 plays that, a couple of them probably went in our favor, but a couple of them probably didn't. And that's what happens. And, it's football.
So based off going off of what you said about like
Straight in front of it.
is it better?
Yeah.
So like how it's not an individual sport. So what Coach Ward was like preaching to us about like throughout the week, we're completely different from their program because their team, you can tell everyone's an individual, but then when you compare it to our team, everybody's playing for each other. So it's like just going through the game, they were yelling at each other. We were picking each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, the 5 plays and then the little things. Those were the big things.
Well, what would you guys say? I mean, the game's already said and done. This season might go just like it did last season in terms of one team losing to make sure you guys get in. You know what I mean? It's not like that right now, but that could be the case. So knowing that, at this point, you got the bye week. You got 2 weeks to practice. So that's always like the comeback. You know what I mean? 2 weeks of grinding and getting after work. This is the comeback time. And you go in there and you play Smash Mouth. And when I say punch them in the mouth, like I said last week, you don't punch them in the mouth, but you punch them in the mouth. You get them going. And I think one of the other things the only thing that I think we actually do lack is on the sidelines when something bad happens, it gets real quiet. And so like even being in the stands, all the parents was sitting down and, Dalton's dad and I, we were standing up almost the entire time. And every time it got like super quiet, even in the student stand, I was screaming out. I was like, let's go. Let's get loud. Let's, it shouldn't be this quiet. But we've got that mentality that we should be having number 2 run 60 yards every play. We have that mentality that we should be doing that. It's a grind every play. If you get 3 yards every single play or 4 yards, you have a first down. You're wasting time. You're tiring out that defense. So, I mean, what do you think? Because, I mean, you didn't get to run the ball, but you're still blocking because your bum hand, and then seeing defense. But on offense, what did you see?
What do you mean, like elaborate on that?
What did you see? What did work? What didn't work? What do you think we should do better?
Well, okay. So what Jaden was saying about like the little things like head placement and all that stuff. So during film, like we could run like 26 power. If we ran that 4 times, it's either we're gonna get 4 yards and it'll just keep progressing from that. So we got how long was Chris's run on the first play?
It was like 60 yards, yeah.
60 yards off. And that was the first play, and coaches said it. Everyone saw it from film. head placement, all the little things, they were good. Like, that's what made us score that. And then, like, during the game, the further we got into it, like, the little things, that's what messed us up. So we either lost yardage or we got, little yardage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, Michael?
Things that worked, things that didn't. Things that didn't work is, like you said, we can't have the mentality of Chris running the ball every single time. Out of the 3 plays before the punt, you can't have him run all 26 powers. He gets tired. He's a human. And Logan did a very good job of stepping up to Chris's role when Chris got out with his ankle injury. And things that did work with the jet, when the jet went to the other side and then option back the other way, that really hit like 10 yards every single play because they followed the jet almost every time.
Yeah, and it was easy to see, too. I mean, everybody knew what you guys were doing, but they didn't have a choice. As a linebacker, you have certain obligations, and if you're jetting out, he's got to scoot over, and he's got to catch the outside containment, and it worked every single time, like you said. So it's the little things, head placement, concentrating, because what I would tell you guys beforehand is every single play, you got to think about exactly what you're going to do. Okay, you can't let it like shoot past your head and just know the play. You got to know what you are doing because that is your job to make sure that you can catch, you can run, you can block. Go ahead.
Going off that, so before the Bear Creek game, Coach Bishop.
Right in front of it, dude.
Coach Bishop, he was telling us, like, you're not playing, like, for instance, I'm not playing Dalton Slaughter football. I'm not playing Michael Edwards football. I'm playing Gabe Knapp football. So that's basically what you just said. Like, you can't try to play like someone else. You have to know what you're doing. You have to think about it. And if you just do your one job, you're fine. And that's like, it's your 111th. Like, everyone needs to do their one job, not focus about what the other person's doing, just focus about what you're doing, and that's how we'll be successful.
Okay, tell me, I know what the 111th is, but for those that are listening and that don't understand that, enlighten them.
111th?
The 111th pretty much means you do your job. If your job is to block one person, block that one person. If your job is to run a route, run that route as hard as you can. If everyone does their 111th, there's no stopping at all.
And for the people that don't know much of football terms, there are 11 people on the field. So when we say 111th, it is doing, like Jane said, your job and being that, you can't do nothing more, nothing less than your job.
Going off of the 111, I personally think football is a very simple-minded sport. Like, simple people can play this sport. You get the play in the huddle. You do your job. Everyone does their job. You'll score a touchdown every single play. That's just how it's set up. 11 versus 11.
That's easier said than done, in my opinion, because the first 5 plays in the Vista game, we just worked them. The first possession they had, I don't think they gained more than 8 yards, and then we scored our first play of offense. We made them fumble the next series, but we ended up getting tired. And when you get tired, you start getting lazy. When you get lazy, you don't do your job, and that's what kind of hit us in the face. And when they scored that touchdown, it was like, man.
Well, okay. I don't necessarily think we got tired. I think it's more of basically what Ward said. 1, that was our game. 2, we just ran out of time. It's as simple as that. And I mean, there's nothing really, like, we can't do anything about that, But I know from the first play of the game to the last play of the game, everyone was doing their job. Coaches said it, like, everyone did their job. And it was right after the game, that's when everyone, head hanging and all that stuff. So, yeah. I had to.
This is your guys' conversation, so I'm letting you guys talk.
Caleb, I want to hear you a little bit.
That means get off your phone.
Caleb's either mad or tired or in trouble.
All right, what do you guys want to hear?
What we were just talking about, Caleb.
Well, hold up, real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out Logan Candelaria.
Yeah, shout out Logan.
All right. This is what, like, I don't know. You can probably see where I'm coming from with this, but in practice, we will run all these pass routes. Like, we'll throw all day, every day in practice. But when it comes to game time, it's give to Chris, give to Logan, throw to Luke. When we have Michael, Kevin, Randy, Christian, like some of the nicest receivers in the state, and we're not going to throw the ball. Like, it's just like, I'm not dissing our offensive coordinator. It's just like something that bugs me sometimes because we know every pass play, it's like, all right, well, this is going to Luke, or this is going to a certain person. So
Right. How many pass plays do we have? I think we have like 20 different routes, right?
Yeah.
Or like receiving routes, and I think we should definitely throw more. And I fully agree. Like, you got to run the ball to open up the pass the ball to open up the run. I just think we need to have more of a balance instead of having like, I think we're almost like 75-80% run, and that's close to Monarch. You know what I mean? So I think we should pass a little bit more.
Yeah, like we have the quarterback to do it. We have the receivers to do it. We have the O-line to do it.
Right. O-line quick protection is good.
Yeah.
Really good.
But make sure you're giving your coaches enough credit here. It's not easy to coach.
Right.
It is not easy to coach. And sometimes, like, having certain play, you might think about that play and say, yeah, let's do it. And then someone comes up to you and is screaming about, oh, he's not blocking, he's not doing that, or this guy's, filling the gap right here, he's rushing every time. However it might be, coaches have to negate on how they do things. It's not as easy as it sounds. But I agree on the pass game, but I just don't want you guys to be fixated on the fact that we're not passing as much. I mean, that's something we definitely need to do. Definitely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind we need to pass. But the biggest part of this is just understanding the coaches and understanding that they're playing football every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're playing football every day. On Sundays, they're studying their tapes. On Saturdays, they're studying tapes. All through the week, they're studying tapes and they're coaching and they're teaching and they're doing all this other stuff. So it's not that they're not trying to use everybody. It's just I think it's getting past them. And like I said last week, and I'll give this to you in just a second, just like I said last week, is all these teams are in the box now. Okay, especially against us, because that was our bread and butter, is hitting the box. And we're not able to do that anymore. And when you have a running back who is as fast as Chris and as talented as him that can elude a lot of people, I mean, a lot of things need to be thought about. But I just wanted to say that because I don't want you to get in trouble or anybody else to get in trouble for their personal opinions, because I know where you're coming from. And again, I'm not a player. The coaches are not players. They are not on the field. They are not playing that game. They're coaching the game, but they are not playing the game. And there's a big difference. So, Gabe?
My opinion on that, I understand where you guys are coming from about like it either being deep to Luke, a toss to Chris, or Kale running the ball. To me, that really doesn't matter. Whatever play coach calls, we have to run it to perfection. The other, against Vista, we ran a quarterback sneak 3 plays in a row. And they kept lining up in the A-gaps. The linebackers kept blitzing the A-gaps. Oh, this doesn't work, coach. We got to stop running it. I mean, sometimes I said it. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out how to make it work. Because our coaches were telling us every play they have is meant to score. And as you could tell from that first play, that was meant to be a 5-yard run. That was like a 60-yard run for a touchdown. Like, every play we have is meant to score. So no matter if we're not passing, no matter if we're just passing, we have to do our jobs every single play to perfection.
Yeah, I agree on that. And I also hear where y'all are coming from on that. But it's also like basically what Blumen says. I don't know if he said it to y'all, but I mean, he's going to call whatever he thinks is going to work. Mm-hmm. So if he's going to call 26 power, 27 power, 5 times in a row to get that first down or a touchdown, you know what I'm saying? We have to run it. And, I mean, with the QB sneak, we can still, if everyone's doing their job, like, y'all know what I'm saying, though?
We can still score.
Exactly.
Off the QB sneak, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying like we need to throw because of the receivers that we have. But like when he calls 26 power 5 times in a row, like we're gonna run our run relief to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna jog it. Especially like Bishop was saying in the locker room for Vista, like we're getting kind of lazy on it. Like we need to hurry up and like get our routes done because that's what they were going to be looking for in the second half of the Vista game. But I feel like whatever they call, we're going to run to our best ability. Like right now, like this receiver throwing thing, like it's really not a big deal because right now what we're doing is working, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what Michael said earlier, we're gonna if we have to run till we can pass, you know what I'm saying? We'll do it. And if we're gonna pass till we can run, we'll do it. As long as it works, as long as everyone's doing what they can. So.
And it kind of comes back to that thing, like what you were saying, pass. Run until you can pass, like what you guys were saying. We ran quarterback sneak how many times in a row? Like 3?
Yeah,
3 or 4?
Yeah.
And then guess what was open the very next play? A bomb to Luke, and that was the best pass we held all night. So that's something I think our coaches strategized, and it was a very good strategy. But one thing our whole offense needs to work on, we get all the yards. The yards, we have no struggle in getting yards. It's the finishing, getting into the end zone. That's what we as a team struggle with.
It's completing in the red zone. That's what it strictly comes down to. I mean, we'll be playing, we can start on our own 20 and get down to the 10-yard line. And next thing you know, when we get down there, teams are obviously going to start loading the box more because, it's goal line defense. And so they start loading the box more, and then we keep playing, and next thing you know, it's 4th down, and we got to kick the field goal. And, we average, 300 yards a game for rushing?
Last year?
No, right now.
I think, we're averaging 194.
No way. Because
No,
we had two 300-plus yard games.
I'll show you. I was looking at it this morning.
And, we'll just 190. We're averaging, we had two 300-plus yard game, but we lost both of them, because we can't complete in the red zone. But once we get that down, that comes down to the personality check of a player. Change my mind. That when you're in the 10-yard line and when you're within 10 yards in the end zone and they're putting all 11 guys in the box.
It's a gut check. It's a gut check.
You got to bring your attitude to the point where I'm going to blow this guy out the back of the end zone so my running back can just walk it.
Mm-hmm. It's attitude. I agree.
And, the big thing with me about finishing a game, it's, right when you come out for a warm-up, us as a team, we lag in – I'm just going to rhyme. We lag in swag, really. You know what I'm saying? We need to come out with all the swagger. We can't be all timid and stuff.
Well,
y'all know what I'm saying, though? Y'all know what I'm getting at? So,
just the vibes Coach Bishop gives off,
exactly.
That's swagger right there. And
exactly.
The vibes that Coach Lyles gives off, they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
But when we come out, we look timid, soft. We just need to come out and just hit people.
And that's y'all will hear me. I'll say it 3 or 4 times. We need to have we need to have swag, right? The first play, we have the swagger, right? We're hitting the crap out of these people. We're doing our job. We're making our blocks. Making the right reads and all that stuff, right? If the thing with finishing, if you compare it from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, there's no swag.
Right.
We're either just timid or I don't know what word to use, but
yeah, first play we come out hitting just like you said, but as soon as something bad happens, usually, the Vista game we did pretty good with this, but usually our head goes down or we start giving up on certain things that we have to do because the play didn't work.
And I think part of that, what it comes down to, is the fact that we walk out like you said for warm-ups, not necessarily having the mentality that we're going to come out because I feel to win because I feel some of these players that we have suiting know that they might not see the field, so they aren't going to give it 100%. Once you have a team that when you suit, how many kids we suit? 50-something?
Yeah.
53. When you have a team that suits 53 people and all 53 come out expecting to, see the field, going through warm-ups at the same intensity, that's when we will start rolling teams.
And going back to the swag thing, I think swag definitely comes with experience and confidence. You guys know what I mean? Like, we're young, and I'm not trying to use that as an excuse or anything. But swag, like, you got to come with a little drip. Like, it's a little bit of, like, I'm going to blow you out, and I'm going to run past you and catch the ball. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to block you into the dirt. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Like,
I hear that. And that's why, like, every time before a game, I'm like, you know, if I look good, I feel good. If I feel good, I'm going to play good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually take that to heart because, you know me. I'm like, do I look drippy? You know, am I looking good? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it was
What cleats am I wearing today?
when we were coming out for halftime at Vista, and their student section was chanting F Rampart.
Exactly.
Like, we all were, like, clapping our hands. Like, we all was swagging right there.
I was telling them, I was like, keep going. I was doing that with my club. I was like, go.
Club.
Student section was saying that?
Yeah,
you didn't
twice.
hear
They did it at halftime and after the game.
Yeah, they're F Rampart, F Rampart.
I mean, it
Except
happens
they
though.
actually said the word.
Yeah, they're saying it, but
My mom's going to watch this, so we can't say that.
I know.
Kind of going back to what Gabe was saying, how like we come out with swag, and then it just dies down. Something Coach Lyles was telling the D line before a game. What Vista was talking so much before on social media, and we were all very angry about it.
Yeah.
And Coach Lyles was telling us, don't just simmer it down for a little bit so it can last the whole game. Don't let it leash the first two series and have it be gone.
Yeah.
I think that's what we kind of did.
Yeah.
Because first play, touchdown. Next play, fumble.
Yeah.
And then kind of started to simmer down because we let our anger out too quickly.
Yeah.
We got to be able to hold that anger the whole game.
Real quick, just a quick update because I like doing this when I'm trying to watch football and I can't.
The Broncos winning?
No, they're not.
Of course they are.
Jacksonville's up 23-17, but it's down to the wire. Broncos have the ball. There's 2:54 left.
Anyone?
Anyway, yeah, continue.
All right, thanks.
But anywho.
My headphones keep going in and out. Eddie, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. What you got to say, Kobe?
But I feel like going into league now, I think we're going to start swagging. Just because this bye week, we're going to get our confidence back. We're going to get, like, we're going to be working really hard. We're gonna be like, we're unstoppable now. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to have swagger going into league. Like, try to beat everyone.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens after that.
And the thing with that, especially having a bye week, I mean, we can all agree we're leaders on the team. You know, we're being role models for like the freshmen, you know, and the sophomores too. So, I mean, for me, going into the bye week, taking it a lot more serious, and then going into like Whitefield and then playing like Liberty, etc. Like, we can't underestimate them just because, you know, the past years how they've been record wise and all that stuff. But I know, no, I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
Yeah, going into this bye week, I like how our coaches are kind of taking it off us physically because we all have bumps and bruises, but it's really time to challenge our mental and get our mental game right because I think that's where we're lacking right now.
Going into this bye week, well, we are 1-4.
Yeah,
We don't have a good record.
don't matter.
Every game from this bye week to Pueblo West, every single game is a playoff game. Because if we lose, we don't make the playoffs. Our expectations still have not changed from not making the playoffs. If we win league, we automatically make the playoffs. I don't care what seed we get, whatever. That's just the next team up. But we have to. Every game we play now is now a playoff game. What else was I about to say? I was about to say something else.
Well, just like everyone in this room right now is somewhat of a leader for the team and like in different ways. Like
Yeah.
Gabe is the vocal leader. Dalton most of the time is the silent killer leader. Like, you know,
Silent.
You haven't came to our drills then.
yeah. But
Me, Dalton, CJ, what's going on?
it's just like going into these next couple weeks, we need to be more leaders, like be more of a leader. Just because people's hopes and people's like heads are hanging just because of playoffs. Like some seniors, they think we're not going to make the playoffs, so we got to keep that up and like, keep their heads up.
One thing that Coach said when we were watching film, we're 1-4, yes, but we are a good 1-4 team. Like, we are a very good 1-4
Without a
team.
doubt, yeah.
The first game, yeah, that wasn't good. That was just us. We just weren't ready. We weren't ready to see the varsity lights yet for a bunch of the young guys. But these last 4 games, we haven't necessarily – we're a good team. We are a very good team. We just haven't had games go in our favor.
Yeah, like people they'll look at us, be like, oh, 1-4, you know, they must be crap, you know.
Right.
But I guarantee, like what Ward was saying, like right after film and during the film, teams are gonna look at us, they're gonna watch our film, and they're gonna be like, oh, you know, cuss word. I ain't gonna say it, but
Yeah, it's like on film. You'll watch the film and be like, oh my gosh, it's like there's only 2 seniors on the play right now. Like that's how young we are. Like most of the team is juniors.
juniors and sophomores.
Juniors
Yeah.
and sophomores, that's right.
You'll see some plays and be like, oh, Chris and Pena are the only 2 seniors on the field.
K-Wish too.
Yeah.
I think that's another issue, especially – I'm not talking about the starters. I know the starters are still into this season.
Yeah.
But I've heard, like, on the sidelines after games, at practice, some of the sophomores and some of the juniors that don't really play all that much, them saying, oh, it's okay, next year we're going to be good. I'm not worried about next year right now. I'm worried about these next 5 games.
Who we playing?
If I was a senior and these younger guys, underclassmen, were saying, next season we're going to be good, I'm going to be very upset. Like, y'all have already given up on my senior season.
Exactly.
That's why I haven't given up on these seniors yet, because this season isn't over.
And that's why, like last year, for instance, y'all saw me. I was a little baby. Like after losing against Lovely and all that stuff, I was a little baby because, you know, a little baby. Anyways. Because, like, you know, for example, Tuggle, you know, Keyshawn going out with the knee. It's a senior season, so you want to do everything you can to make it successful for them. And that's why, like, for me, like, because I'm always with Chris, you know what I'm saying? Indy, all that stuff. So I'm blocking for him, all that stuff. So I just want to make sure, you know, he has a successful senior season. And, y'all know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's kind of what it...
My phone.
But I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. I mean, the fact that, you know, you're listening to, you know, some of these younger players, you know, some of these non-starters that are, when someone goes down in practice, that their checkup on you is to make sure to see actually if you're not playing, so they might be able to see the varsity time. And when you have a teammate that does that, I mean, as a player, that kind of takes down your morale. Like, wow, this kid really doesn't care about me. Who else doesn't care about me? I mean, you know, when one of the best examples, when we found out Gabe broke his thumb, I mean, I can say in the heart of this group, everyone that heard about that was in this room, and a couple people that aren't in this room, were genuinely like sad to hear that, because we didn't know if we were gonna get to see him back, you know, until, what was it, Pueblo West or something like that. We didn't know if he was going to be able to play through those games. And, you know, when you have kids that are just checking up on him to be, oh, well, I'm probably going to play this week since he can't, that's when stuff starts to hurt more.
And that's kind of, like, that's actually a really good example of it. And that's part of the reason, like, why I was telling him and my mom, like, I want to be back. Like, I want to make sure I get cleared and all that stuff. Even though I missed a week, you know, I'm happy I was back to play against her.
How much trouble did I get in?
Oh, she was pissed. My mom
What do you mean?
was pissed.
Why? What happened?
You played?
Yeah, because,
Did she not know?
No, she knows. Like,
No, it was because they were going to keep him out for 3 to 4 weeks. And I told the doctor, I said, this isn't going to happen. It's a cast. You could play with the cast if it's padded up. And he gave me all the examples of what could happen and everything. And I was like, all I need is a paper. Let's make it happen.
Oh, hey, say the reaction of the doctor.
Yeah, he was not happy. Like, yeah, not happy at all. But you know what? And I'm not like the crazy football dad. I mean, I am kind of, but that's not everything that I depend on. You know what I mean? So, like, when it came to his thumb, let's all be honest. It's a thumb.
Actually, thumbs are very important. You can't pick up anything without a thumb.
Shut up.
I mean, look at, like...
Let's bring the smart kid into the conversation here.
Shut up.
See, what happened was in the year 15 BC.
According to my calculation.
the opposable thumb was meant to like grab a banana, and no, seriously, it's a thumb, and so should that keep a player from playing? If he busted his knee, I've screwed my knees up so many times it's beyond control. I've got my back issues, I've got sciatica, I've got broken back, and am I going to go play football or am I going to go take a fight? No, because I know better. You know what I mean? So even though I'd want to, I wouldn't do it. It's a thumb. So if it was his knee or his ankle or, he tore a bicep or something like that, then he would not be playing.
Like when I went down with my pinky, like when it popped out and like fractured, everyone was like, "Ew, that's gross," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Like I went to the ER, they popped it back in, and I was like, "All right, I'm going back to practice."
Didn't you still miss the game though? You still missed the game.
Yeah, I was like, "All right, I'm going back to practice," and they were like, "No, you need to do all this stuff." Like, so I had to miss a Chatfield game because of my pinky, and I was like, "It's not a big deal. Like I can just tape it."
Pinky was nasty though. Let's be honest, that was nasty.
It was Michael's fault.
Wait, it was your fault?
Yeah, he came to the O-line drills.
He was running like this. I hit his arm. Snapped. It snapped. Oh my gosh.
Nah, but going back on what Dawn was saying about like the teammates and all that stuff. So like, like we have a group chat and all that stuff. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I'm out. I broke my thumb, all that stuff." Everyone was like, "Love you, bro. Hope it gets better," and all that stuff. And then that's how like, they genuinely care about it. And then when you go to practice and you see, some of the kids that aren't starting and all that stuff, they'll come up and be like, "So, like, when you coming back?" All sus and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And it was
like, it's like right there,
like when you texted the group, like we were like, "All right, like we're praying for you."
It's all love.
Yeah,
because we care about you more as a person than a football player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I care about Gabe Knapp.
And even when
love you, bro.
Like when Kevin Witcher went down in the Bear Creek game with his ankle, like I can promise y'all, I prayed right there for him. I was like, I hope like this is fine. Like it's just like a little sprain or something.
When Chris went down, we
Chris
prayed.
yeah. Mark and I came together. Yeah,
like it's just love. Like you can't find a lot of teams out there like that bond like we do because we all genuinely love each other.
And that's the thing with like our football program. Yeah, no homo. Now, like, you'll see us, and you'll see the people who actually, like, care about each other, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll see everyone else who, like, who's just there to be there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just happy to be in uniform.
Exactly.
That, I'm not gonna
lie. We're not dissing on anyone, like, any of our teammates, or we're not trying to diss on them, but it's like...
It's gotten better. Like, at the beginning of the season, it was bad. Yeah. It's gotten a lot better, though.
Yeah.
But even the fact that it has gotten better, I mean, you still see spurts of it. Kids out here just being glad to wear a varsity jersey. I mean, don't get me wrong. During the Dakota Ridge game, it was pretty bad. Kids were just, I'm on the varsity team because I can throw on a varsity jersey. But, I mean, now that you're seeing it, when Chris, you went down, I mean, Logan brought up that role very well. He didn't, oh no, I got a big shoe to fill. It's just the next guy up. And when you have a whole mentality, like a whole team mentality of the next guy up, I mean, you'll be able to go through almost anyone. I mean, because you could take, your star player down, and have a person behind him that's, maybe not nearly as talented as them, but, I just got to keep playing. I got to keep our heads up. That's when you will start rolling teams and start winning more.
Yeah, and going off that with Logan, Chris Yu versus Logan Candelera.
Shout out Logan.
Yeah, shout out Logan. Shout out Logan. No, like what we were saying earlier about Chris. First play, 60-yard run. And then he goes down, Logan comes in. He's working his butt off. Almost cuss.
Had like an 80-yard run.
Exactly. He's taking these big old hits. Some kid cracked his face mask. You saw that crap.
That was crazy.
Like, he was getting hit.
He's getting speared all over the field. Like,
and he's getting back up, and he kept doing it. And then he took. Did he take two, or was it just that one to the crib, and they called it back?
Yeah, he took one.
No, he had two. He had two touchdowns.
Yeah. No, he had one.
And he had the first touchdown. This is his first varsity one. Right. And then he had it was like a 50-yarder. It gets called back over something really stupid.
Yeah, I'm watching the film. It wasn't there, but anyway, we can't control.
Love
that.
you, Steven.
It happens.
Love you, Steven.
Love you, Steven.
Shout out. Oh man.
But I mean, like we said, shout out Logan. But like, I mean, you take Chris Yu. He's 210 pounds.
Yeah, he's about
245.
And then you take Logan, which is 150 on a good day. With the full
I'll be nice.
full stomach.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll give him like 160, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll be a little.
a
Nice.
$160
But,
with a
I
wet
mean,
shirt.
I guarantee that kid's, Logan, he's playing his heart out. I mean, I know that's a person that's leaving everything on the field. And one of the best things is the fact that I know when you watch him that as a player, you never know when your last play is going to happen. It could be during the game or it could be, 10 years down the road. You never know when your last play is going to happen. And watching Logan, I know that he understands that mentality and will keep playing and playing and playing until, unfortunately, we all have to have that time where we have to step away.
Yeah, I kind of wish that a lot of our sophomores, they're a good group of guys. Our freshmen are a good group of guys. I kind of wish they kind of have that same mentality that Logan has, though, because how many offensive, because we don't have a whole lot of depth. Like, how many offensive starters do we have starting on defense? A lot of them. A lot. Because we don't have all those players that are willing to work. And let's be honest, me, you, and CJ, we didn't get a whole lot of breaks that whole game. We did not get a whole lot of breaks. And we still did fine. Yeah, we did fine. But it would have been nice to be man, I need a break, coach. Let me get one. But we don't really have that kind of thing because there are some players on our team that shy away from that. They won't put forth that effort. But we're getting better at it. Week 1, horrible. But going into our bye week, it's getting a lot better. Loa came in for me when I got tired. Did great. Performed. When I got tired and on kick return, I didn't want to go on kick return. Brent Nossman, great. He's a great senior.
Off.
He did good.
Off. He had 10 tackles.
How many tackles? I'm about to say, Brent was flying to the hole every time.
Nah, kid's he's probably 180, maybe 170.
Not even. I would say 170.
With a full stomach.
and a wet shirt.
No,
wet
yeah,
shirt.
shout out Brent.
Shout out Brent Nossman.
No, he had 10 tackles. He had, he went off.
No, that's one thing I do like about Brent.
It's his attitude.
When we're at practice and we're running Badger punt, and when we run up to the line, you got all 4 of us jogging to the line because Brent Nossman just sprinting past me. I'm like, okay, all right. Well,
I'm the center.
Hey, I'm the center.
He turns around woo.
Yeah, no, he definitely
Starts getting some jumping jacks in, waiting for the rest of the O-line to show up.
Shout out Brent.
He definitely is one of our harder workers.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, is he our biggest guy?
No.
Heck no. But he is definitely one of our hardest workers. Seeing him after practice with CJ, Gavin, Rigo, him just leading that whole pack, it's nice to know that we have someone who really does care about this season.
And one of the big things for pregame and all that stuff, I think it was one of you guys saying about how the sophomores, need to have more of a mindset, like Logan, But the thing I noticed in for instance, the linebacker group, we'll have some people being intense just for the sake of it, just, maybe impress coach, maybe, just be like, oh, I want to get in. But when it comes down to it, they're like, hey, you got to get in. They're like, oh, they freeze up,
Right.
But that was kind of me last year.
No, I feel with that. 'Cause
I remember.
I
remember last year when we went on that 4-game shutout thing against all these 4 teams. We had our sophomores going in the second half. I was so scared. I did not play great. But just kind of thinking they're sophomores, they're new to the varsity level. So I kind of understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wish I could have pushed harder, and I'm trying to tell them they can push harder so they don't regret it. Because I regret not pushing myself my sophomore year. I really do regret that. It was a big year.
All right, guys. So we've almost been at it for an hour, and I'm glad you guys were able to actually get some conversation going and actually speak without me having to run the whole thing. Oh, okay. So, anyways, Cowboys play in 15 minutes. I don't know what happened to the Broncos. I haven't got notification whether they won or not. But we're gonna go in chapters. Okay, so this is chapter 2, Rams football. Everybody's always welcome. You guys can come in here. If we got 20 people, we got 20 people. It's gonna be hot and sweaty. It's gonna be like we're in a locker room. and it's going to get a little weird, but we'll still have fun, and we'll share the mic, and we'll exchange headphones and everything. So thank you guys for coming. I'm glad you guys were able to take some time. We'll get Kel and Luke in here next time as well. Yeah. So as long as you guys are having fun. There was a quote I was just looking at on Facebook. I showed Gabe during that thing. I don't know if it's going to pop right back up. Michael Gallup from the Cowboys. I know you guys aren't Cowboys fans. It's just Gabe and I. Or maybe. Are you a Cowboys fan? How dare you? So, anyway, he said winners don't always win. They just never give up. Okay? And to me, that's a big thing because we all know the Cowboys are iffy every season. And the Broncos are and everything else like that. But you have a leader, Gallup, who's one of the best receivers in the league, saying that. He's willing to understand that you can be a winner, but you don't always have to win. But you never give up. You keep on trying every single play, and that's what's important. So, if you guys have that kind of mentality, then, the sky's the limit, and that's the truth. And so you guys have the potential. You have the players. You have good coaching. Everything has got to come together like a puzzle. Everybody is a puzzle piece, and you got to bring it together, and you got to make it work. And the other thing I will tell you guys, okay, coaches don't know until you tell them. All right, so if you're seeing something that's not working or if you're seeing something that can be better, coaches love that, okay? They love hearing feedback, and whether they like to say it in front of you or not, they take it to heart because, again, you guys are out there, they're not. So advocate for yourselves as a team and, talk to them. If you keep your mouth shut and you come on a podcast and you say all these things, what does it matter? Nothing's going to happen. So advocate for your team. Have your other players advocate for the team. And if it ends up happening, cool. If it doesn't, guess what? Do your job. Have fun. That's the biggest thing, is make sure every play that you're going out there and having fun. If you hate football, you shouldn't be here. That's it. If you're not having fun playing football, why the hell are you doing it? I was a pro fighter. Did I like getting punched in the face at that time? Indeed.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's part of being a pro fighter. I took that punch. I took every punch like a champ and made sure that for every punch he gave me, I gave him too.
Oh, I like that.
And so, that's the way you got to look at things. So I hope you guys can take that and run. So chapter 2 out of the way. Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony was kind enough to give a shout out to the Rams.
That's what's up.
And I don't think any other school has that kind of connect. So if you don't know Bone Thugs and Harmony, you're probably not 30 in your 30s. But one of the best groups that ever was, and Busy is now on his own tour, doing his own thing right now. So shout out to him, and thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Kobe Young, number 13.
Michael Edwards, number 7,
Go ahead. Go around.
All right, go around. All right, you go, Gabe.
Gabe Nat. Alabama. Quarterback. 23.
All right.
Well, he took the mic away from me.
All right. Kobe Young, 13, University of Tennessee.
Jaden Young, 54, Pikes Peak Community College.
Hell yeah.
Michael Edwards.
Your mom said what? Your mom said what?
Michael Edwards, number 1, LSU.
Okay.
Caleb, I know we're not numbered yet.
Caleb Lopez, don't have a number.
Undefined.
College. Haven't committed.
Army Secret Services.
Dalton Slaughter, 64, University of Iowa.
Rampart Rams, chapter 2. We're out.